Welcome to this video. It's not so much a video but more of a photographic journey, taking you from Land's End to John O'Groats on the bike ride that I undertook in 2015 after a minor heart attack. I used this book to give me the route and took some beautiful photographs, and have taken the chance of COVID and the lockdown to put together the photographs and some of the descriptions. I hope you enjoy it. I started off cycling into Reading and then taking the train from Reading down to Penzance and then cycling on to Land's End itself. At Land's End they were preparing for the Ride Across Britain bike ride. I was going to take a bit longer than they were. I cycled to Marazion and I stayed the night near Mount Bay opposite St Michael's Mount at a bed and breakfast. This next section was rather hilly, but I did have a very nice day and the weather was treating me kindly. I stayed finally at a campsite near St Austell and had a good night. I thought day 3 was going to be a bit easier. In fact, it was hard, since it kept on going down to river crossings, then up a steep hill, then back down to another river crossing. Very tough going. I ended up staying in Plymouth for the night. My day 4 was great. The weather was wonderful and I had a lot of off-road riding, which was great to have, and also the most perfect weather to be crossing Dartmoor. I'd stayed the night in a pub in Exeter and had a fabulous breakfast, and then started off with another fabulous day. I was travelling northwards up through Devon and rendezvousing with Ali, my partner, in Somerset. I had a bit of trouble navigating when I tried to cross a bridge that didn't exist at Bridgewater, but finally met up with Ali and spent the night in the camper van. Ali cycled with me as far as Axbridge, and then she turned round to go and pick up the camper van for our next rendezvous further up the line. A lot of the ride was on a cycleway along an old disused railway, the Strawberry Line. I crossed over the River Severn on the second bridge and entered Wales. Today was a sunny day. I was going to cycle up to Leinster to meet up again with Ali, past Tintern Abbey, up the Wye Valley, some beautiful river views, and through the town of Monmouth. I decided to ditch my camping stuff. It was rather too heavy and it was getting chilly. Ali took it back in the camper van, but cycled with me some of the way, and then I went on to Shrewsbury. The weather is being fantastic for me on this journey, and I had a nice stay in Shrewsbury, an interesting and historic town. In Shrewsbury, I stayed at the Henry Tudor house and had a fabulous breakfast, and then a lovely sunny day of riding up in and out of Wales towards Liverpool area. As I was getting close to Runcorn, I met up again with Todd and Tina, who are following the same route as me and the same book. Saw them in Cornwall and again in Scotland. This day was a bit cloudy, and in fact I even had some showers at times. I sheltered in a Costa coffee, but was making my way steadily up towards the countryside and out towards the Lake District. Really nice day at Brock Hall, and then had a fabulous day cycling through lovely countryside, going from Lancashire into Yorkshire and then up into the hills in the forest of Bowland. There were some magnificent views. It was a beautiful day. It was fabulous cycling. Stayed the night in a bed and breakfast in Kendal and then made my way into the Lake District, passing by Lake Windermere, which was pretty busy with tourists even in September. After a fairly long climb, I had a lovely downhill section past Thirlmere. After Keswick, I rode a little further on to Ravenstone Manor, where I stayed the night. Today was another mixed sunny and cloudy day, but with some nice countryside to look at. Passed through Carlisle with its castle, and then north towards the border with Scotland. I arrived in Scotland and it was complete with a Gretna Green wedding. I had a short day riding today because of the lack of accommodation in this area, but it was a lovely day. Sunshine, blue skies, lovely countryside. What could I complain about? Today was sunny and cloudy, and I was cycling in towards Glasgow. I stopped for some coffee at a church hall with these young ladies, and then carried on towards Glasgow. I was following a cycle path all the way into Glasgow, which ran along the side of the Clyde, giving me good views of the city, then out the other side. At some point there were these strange pigeon houses, and also signs of the shipbuilding industry that used to be here. A lot of this section was along the line of the disused railway line, which was very quiet and peaceful. I really couldn't have imagined having a much nicer day than this day was, with the scenery of Loch Lomond and running up towards the Highlands of Scotland. I was now into some quite remote regions with quiet roads and some atmospheric clouds to make the scenery even more spectacular and dramatic. This is Rannoch Moor, which is famous for its bogginess and also seen in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I reached Glencoe, it was about time for coffee, so I stopped at the ski resort. I decided to take a small ferry across the water and then had a quiet road which went along the side of a loch and then allowed me to take another ferry back into Fort William. The ride out of Fort William started off heading towards Mallaig and then turning off towards the Caledonian Canal. If I looked back, I could see Ben Nevis with just a little patch of snow on the top of it. It was a flat ride and beautiful views of the canal and the surrounding hills. Part of the ride was along the line of a disused railway and made a nice change from any traffic today. At the end of the day, I came to Loch Ness and my stopping place at Fort Augustus. Rather than taking the main road route to Inverness, I decided to go over a hill, which meant a 400-metre climb almost, but with some nice views and quiet roads. Down the other side of the hill, I went back to Loch Ness and met up again with Tina and Todd, another chance meeting. I arrived in Inverness and stayed the night at a bed and breakfast. Inverness marks the point where the River Ness runs into the Moray Firth, and this is where my luck ran out a bit because it started to rain and then a little while later it cleared up during most of the day. I was pleased to arrive at LEJOG where I could dry out my clothes, and in the evening the sun even came out. The ride from LEJOG to the north coast of Scotland went through some of the most remote country that I've been in. It was a beautiful landscape, and most of the time there were hardly any cars around at all. In one of the most remote places I met this guy who was running from John O'Groats to Land's End for charity. Now that is a real challenge. By 4 p.m. I'd arrived at the north coast of Scotland and had a wonderful view from my hotel bedroom. I had a comfortable stay at the hotel and then took off at about 8:45 along the coast road, which was quiet but up and down as it went over the hills and then down to the beaches. It was beautiful, blue skies. Incongruously, in the middle of all this beauty was the Dounreay nuclear power station. I had to stop just past Thurso to shelter from the rain. When I reached John O'Groats, it was sunshine, the end of the ride. This final day riding should have been easy, only 30 kilometres back to Thurso, but but unfortunately there was a really strong headwind all the way. I finally made it to Thurso and caught the train from there down to Inverness. When I reached Inverness, I met up with the Caledonian sleeper and headed south on the train overnight. It had been a great bike ride and blessed with some incredible weather. I'd thoroughly enjoyed the experience, and I hope you've enjoyed this video too.